Saturday night. I'm kind of dang that my phone is didn't move. So, don't move. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday afternoon or evening, wherever you're at. It has just been amazing. We have started the new year off. I am so proud of myself. I can say that for the current year, for 2025, I haven't bought one single animal, which is an accomplishment for this homesteader, because I've been looking at chickens and I haven't bought one single one. I am doing good, right? The year started off just right. So we have just had a good year so far. I guess I'll share a little bit of that here in a few minutes. But before I get started, I want to see who's in the chat. And first off, of course, I just said hello to everyone. That does not count. But technically, the first person in is the wonderful Joey Fix It For You. Joe Fix It For You. Hey, I'm so glad you stopped in. And he said, hit that thumbs up, please. This means you too, Ginger. Okay, well, Ginger, I'm not sure if you're in here, but it means you too, girl. And then next in was Jessie. Hey, everybody. And then, okay, Glenda, I made it here. What did I win? Well, if you were here 2 weeks ago, you could have won a bidet. Last week, you could have won a charger. But by the way, I think you won the fact that I used your Amazon list to buy the giveaway prizes that I've given away. So I say that's a win, right? And then next in was Rebecca, Touch by Yarn. Hey, girl, I have your hat out because we're about to get slammed with some really cold weather. And it already is kind of cold right now. Last time I checked, it was 32 degrees outside. But we're about to get even colder, and with some ice and some rain and then snow on top of it. Sounds like a party. So I'll be rocking your hat actually probably tomorrow, to be honest with you. I didn't today, but it'll probably be tomorrow. So I'll be thinking of you. Oh, Teresa. Hey, girl. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much. And then Christy is here. Hey, thank you. Thank you. Oh, and then Teresa, she hit the like button. Done. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, hey, girl. Good God's glorious afternoon, evening, everyone. I'll be here listening in the bushes, doing some last minute weatherproofing before the polar vortex comes through. I hope you stay warm and all goes well. I know we're getting ready to get slammed with that, and I am not looking forward to it. My mom made a post that on the Inland Show that they got their some of their supplies and they're ready to go. So I hope everybody that's in the face of this polar vortex, it's about to hit all of us and in a good chunk of the U.S., that we're all ready to go. I know Sir Grace and I are there. I went and I picked up a couple of things yesterday. So, and then I had to go back down into one of the cities close to us. And I'm just saying, it was a madhouse. And I wasn't even picking up anything weather related, just a couple other things that I forgot that you just need for around the house at Lowe's. And oh my gosh, I did not appreciate the traffic. It was probably, it felt like a Black Friday or, day before Christmas shopping down in that area. It was insane. Everybody getting their last minute supplies. But hey, I understand that. If I didn't get mine a couple days ago, I'd probably be doing the same thing. So then next in was my Aunt Lynn. She says, hi, Joey, at Joe Fix It For You. Well, hey, Aunt Lynn, I'm glad you're here. And then I think I saw, let's see here. Hey, lazy people. That's right. We're all lazy. It's okay to have a lazy day. I mean, I don't know if you guys are going to get hit with this polar vortex, but I may be lazy, in the next day or so, not doing anything. And this is hi. Let me just kind of go through here and make sure I'm not missing anybody. I appreciate everybody saying hi to everybody. I thought I saw that. I had to restart my computer. that's the comment I saw that I knew you were in. So I'm glad you're here, Aunt Lynn, and glad you got your computer up and going. 7 in the chat, 7 thumbs up. Yep, let's, if you haven't hit the like button, hit it. And if you don't mind sharing it out, I'd appreciate it. Let's move and groove. I think she was dancing. I think she was just, behind the scenes dancing. Jennifer Ocean Homestead. Hey, everyone, can't watch. Can't listening while I'm working in the house. No problem. I understand that. I was doing that last night quite a bit. I was in on Remy's live and Rambling with the Brooms, and I was doing housework. And I'm like, listen, laundry is not going to get done if I just leave it there and just sit. So I had to get up and get my laundry done. So no, I understand. No problem. And then let me scroll down, see who else is in here. Troy. Troy, we have been praying for you. I hope you are continually to getting better. And it says you ate your first solid meal in a year. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're going to high five. That's awesome. I'm so glad. And I know if Troy's not in the chat and you don't see him typing, that doesn't mean he's not there. Say hello to him. It has been announced Troy had suffered a stroke. But he is on the mends, and we're claiming full healing over Troy. But I know that it affected his hands and some of, so it might be a little hard for him to text. But please be sure you're talking to him and giving him lots of love and cheer and keep praying for him, because man, you are gonna be healed. You are gonna be healed. I'm just saying. We're calling it now. And yes, Troy, woo! And then Aunt Lynn, yay, Troy, that's wonderful. Let's see here. Ginger and Megan are here. She's making homemade cornbread. Hello. I like homemade cornbread. Where's my homemade cornbread? Oh my goodness. I will tell you something about cornbread in just a minute, but I love me some good homemade cornbread. And then Jennifer said, Troy, so happy for you. Have you been eating up a storm now? I hope you have. Oh, goodness. Let me keep going down. Hi to everyone. I had to walk away a minute. No problem. I'm so glad you're hanging out in here. Let's see here. Our son worked yesterday and didn't even get a lunch break and home later than most days. What? Oh, goodness. Probably everybody getting their supplies ready for their farm animals. My cousin works in a farm store. And I imagine he was quite busy helping everybody get all of their supplies. Because, I went to the farm store and I got stuff ready for my little hens. I had to pick up some bedding and just to make sure I had some extra treats to help support them, to help keep them warm. I like corn, helps keep their little bodies a little extra warmer. But my most concern weather-wise is during the summer. So that's where I worry more about the little girls. And I'm talking about my hens. For those who don't know, I have 10 laying hens who are on strike right now. And I went out there this afternoon and I had a pep talk and I told them we're about to get the polar vortex. I have my bread and I have my milk and I need these freeloaders to start laying their eggs again. And they just looked at me like, where's my treats? So anyhow, no, it's okay. I actually let my girls take a break because they go through a hard molt and they lay eggs based on the sun. Of course, their age plays a factor in this. And so I don't press my girls. I know that there's things that you can give your chickens to help them lay eggs again. But honestly, I'm okay with it. I want to give my girls a break. So, but I like to tease. I've got the bread. I got the milk. I need the eggs, girls. But anyhow. Hey, you're in. Hey, What Life. Thank you so much for being here. Greetings to you too. And happy Saturday. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you're here. And let's see, between Troy and Johnny talking about hamburgers, I'm now making that for dinner. That sounds good. We're going to have kielbasa for dinner. I have it ready to go. And yeah, that's what we're going to have. But hamburgers sound really good too. On the grill on a freezing cold night. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Maybe I'll have that tomorrow. I may have to talk to Sir Grace about that one. I made some potato soup and cornbread for dinner. Oh, that sounds like heaven. Yum, yum. And autocorrect. I understand. Listen, I have fat fingers, and sometimes when I'm sitting on my phone, I mean, like I'm like, I hope the person can make sense of what I'm reading or I meant to say, and otherwise they can just laugh because sometimes Siri takes over and has her own conversation too, especially if you're using voiceover. That's a lot of fun. Hey Karma, you're in the house. I hope you're doing good. Did you get snow? Did I hear that correct? I know that was supposed to start in your neck of the woods, and that polar vortex is coming our way. I think I remember seeing it hitting Idaho, and that's where you're from, I think. So let me know in the comments. See here, that sounds delicious. Yeah, it does. I think we're all going to head over to some of these homes, and we got to go to Joey and Ginger's to get homemade cornbread, and then we'll go have cornbread and potato life at What Life's home. I mean, we got places to go visit, Aunt Lynn. Of all the food and the water, and making sure, like my girls, we have their poultry nipple waters hooked in, the electricity is running to them so it doesn't freeze, because the girls can't drink if the water freezes. Let's see here. Y'all pray for me to have a way to go to get supplies. We will keep you in prayer, and you be safe while you're getting supplies. Yeah, a few of my hens are taking a winter break. Yeah, and that's okay. I personally, I let my girls take a break. I have not bought any store eggs whatsoever since they stopped laying. I've learned I give eggs away, and I love to share eggs. But in the fall, I stop at a certain point from passing them out. And then I save the eggs for us, and that gets us through a molt. And they go straight in the refrigerator. I don't wash them. They just go straight in the fridge, and for me, I've not had them ever go bad. And I push about 3 to 4 months with them. But again, I don't wash them. They just go in the fridge. And then I've also freeze dried some just in case. I just refuse to buy grocery store eggs now. So I guess if I ever run out, then I have to find me a local person so I can buy eggs from. But let's see here. It's cold here, and I just got 12 dozen eggs from the neighbor's chickens. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Glad they're still laying. I'll do without before I buy store-bought ones. See, I'm in that with you. More than likely, they're younger birds. My girls the majority of the flock, they're going to be 5. And I know this isn't for everybody, but my girls will be our pets, and we'll let them just go on as they go. And I have a little one that loves the chickens, and they love her. So yes, and I'm talking about my little granddaughter. So she loves the girls. So they'll be our pets, but then we do have some that are about 1.5 years old, and they should be laying pretty soon because they're young birds. Let's see here. I'm thoroughly frozen to the bone. Oh no, apparently it's too cold for the foam weather seal to stick to the gaps around the door. I'll just have to hang up some plastic over the entryway after hubby's home. Ooh, girl, stay warm. And let's see here. Homegrown eggs are amazing. Yeah, so I have a hard time going to restaurants now and ordering eggs because they're yellow. And I'm going, my chickens lay orange eggs because they get plenty of bugs. They get, good food. They get sunshine. And sometimes I give them, not marigold, calendula flowers. I throw it in, and that helps the color of their eggs. And yeah, so I kind of turn into a homestead type snob when it comes to eggs. But when you have good eggs, it's hard to go backwards, right? Oh, girl, I'm listening and starting supper. Well, we'll be over to your house here in a little bit to have some supper. That sounds good, although it's a little bit of a drive. So keep it warm, okay? Let's see here. They are. I just get them unwashed so they stay fresher longer. Yeah, that's the way to do it. When I first moved to England, I had a hard time seeing eggs in the carton on the shelf, not in the refrigerated section. And I always thought that was weird. But now that I've had chickens and understand what the bloom is about and how it protects the eggs, I just leave mine unwashed. And if they're dirty, which mine don't get too bad, I think it's because of what I use in the coop to keep the girls' legs clean. But if they are a little bit dirty, I'll just wash them before I cook them, which is no big deal to me. But otherwise, if you go in and you pull my eggs out of the fridge right now, none of them are washed. They're all in a container away from everything else. But I'd rather have unwashed eggs that last a little bit longer than have to buy store-bought. And that's just my personal opinion. So here we got a little bit of snow and then we got rain, and today is actually pretty nice. We're in the mid 40s right now. Wow. Okay. Well, that storm is coming to us and it's about to bring a lot of ice and snow and rain. And oh no, it's back. We lost sound. Uh-oh. Okay. And back. And then sounds good to me. Okay. Well, hopefully it's there. Let me know. See, I'm all for some homemade cornbread, and I'd like to heat up near the oven. Let's see here. Eggs are now, ooh, okay. Well, wait a minute, 18, so a dozen and a half. Okay, I can't have chickens, so no choice when our friends can't share eggs with us. I understand. I live in a city surrounded by other cities in every single direction, and there's some kind of poultry ordinance that allows chickens in each of the cities surrounding us. But in our city, they're not allowed. And I have been doing some digging in, and actually it's my councilman that's causing the grief. And I am so wanting him to come over and open the coop up and say, what's the problem? What's your questions? Let's get down and dirty with the nitty gritty with owning chickens, because I've been doing this legally now. I'm going into my 5th year, and my chickens live on a friend's property, for those who don't know. So I don't understand. I think the ordinances are silly. We have ordinances on owning dogs and cats in our city, and they don't need to reinvent the wheel. That's just my personal opinion. I have heard they lay longer in life if you let them follow a natural cycle. I've had a hen lay at 7 years occasionally. Yeah, I believe it. I have one of my girls, I know for sure, 100% no longer laying again. I have not gotten any of her eggs in probably 6 months. So, and I'm okay with it. She tucked in 2 of my newer girls and taught them the ropes. I believe that there's a purpose for an older hen. And that has been to teach the girls. This is the new little ones. This is the ropes. This is when we go into bed. This is where we get our food. I've kind of caught her. And then when the little ones have been pecked on too hard, she literally will tuck her wing over them and kind of protect them. It's pretty interesting. So my girls will just live their life out, right? That's just the way it is. And where's my eggs? Just teasing you. Well, I think I've given you some freeze-dried eggs in the past, so hopefully you still have them. Let's see here. And we're supposed to have 6 to 10 inches of snow. I'll be back in a few. So that is mixed in with up to half an inch of ice is what they're saying for our area. And yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not too worried about the girls because the cold. I will probably end up locking my girls into their smaller run because we have it completely protected with with clear roofing, the PVC roofing, and it keeps the run about 20 to 30 degrees warmer just naturally because that sun is coming in and it warms it up. Think of like a greenhouse type situation. So I'm not too concerned about the heat, but where I'm concerned is the ice and the icicles in the bigger run. So more than likely, my girls will end up getting locked into the little run because I'm concerned about the ice situation. I don't want any of it to fall and hit on my girls. So more than likely, that's what's going to end up happening. Yeah, but if it gets really, really bad, then we have another plan in place for them. I live in the country, but in a mobile home park rules. Oh, I understand that. That and HOAs are a thing. A lot of people live in HOA areas, and I couldn't do that. That's just me. Not the same as a mobile home park, but I lived in military housing, and I call that the Karen of HOA. If your grass gets so far up and you miss mowing it, then they'll turn you into the commander and blah, blah, blah. And you get in trouble with your boss and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, whatever, yeah. So I couldn't do it living in an HOA outside of the military. Now I'm wondering, will a rooster still mate with a girl that's no longer able to lay? Good question. Probably. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have a rooster. My friends who have a farm, they have 3 roosters, I think. So they have separate flocks. They're not all together, but I don't know. Good question. Something I'll have to pay attention to and figure out if they've got any hens up there that are no longer laying, and maybe we can find out. I don't know. For me, 6 to 12 inches and probably a quarter to a half inch ice is what she meant. Yeah, I've heard that. Let's see here. Yes, they will. One of my old girls will sit in my lap to get away from the rooster. That's funny. Well, there you go. You've answered the question. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with roosters. So I don't want to sound like an expert by any means of the imagination. The roosters that are up on the farm are really friendly. Believe it or not, 3 of them. Of course, they have bred their own. They hatch their own eggs, and they have 2 different lines running, and they've had some really good roosters up there. But I have to say, I have been chased by one, and that is no fun. And it was a bantam rooster that chased me around, and I didn't want to be mean to it, but a family member had seen me getting chased by this rooster, and I had like a carton in my hand because I was collecting eggs, and the family member said for me to get out of it, to step back and smack the rooster. And I'm like, I don't want to smack the rooster, but I just kind of pushed him. And then I just took a step back and I pushed him, and I stepped back and got out. But he ended up becoming chicken soup because he went after a grandbaby. And so he's no longer around. But yeah, no, the ones that I interact with at a friend's farm, not the same. These guys are super friendly. They'll let you pick them up, and you could just hold them and love on them, just like one of my hens. I can pick them up just like my girls, and it's really nice to see. So if I ever wanted to get a rooster, I may have to ask them for one of their lines, like let them hatch it out, and then let's see if they get a rooster, and then maybe take one of theirs or pay for it, because they've had really good success with their lineage. And I know that they're like on the 4th or 5th generation since I've been taking care of the farm. And they're very protective of their girls. A couple of them lost their lives to hawks. So yeah, but they've kept the lineage going, and I think that's so good. But to actually speak to a rooster and the experience with them, I have no idea. I have all laying hens, and they are the sweetest little things. And they bring so much joy to our family. We have just really enjoyed it. And I'm glad I get to be a crazy chicken mom. So anyhow, so to change gears, Sir Grace and I have had a amazing time. I dropped a short not too long ago, and I know Scott mentioned that I would share a little bit of this on the live. So I don't know where Scott's at, but I am Scott if you're lurking. So Sir Grace and I, for New Year's, decided to get away, and we went to a state park. It's a little bit of a drive for us, and just to get away. And I've been waiting on this inn, because they have a hotel and they call it the Inn. They've been under renovations for about 18 months or so, and we've been looking forward to them opening up. And back in December, I was just kind of like wanting to know if it was open, just curious, and sure enough, before they opened their doors, they started taking reservations. So Sir Grace and I looked at each other. We're like, you want to get away? And he goes, yeah, let's get away. So we went away to a state park, and we had a blast. It just was so relaxing. We didn't do anything. We just sat around. They have an activities room. And so we just sat down by the fire in rocking chairs, just kind of watching the fire, which, for those of you guys who have fireplaces, I'm jelly in all the right ways. Enjoy those fireplaces. Because I'll tell you, there's something nice just to unwind and take it easy. And I was going to make a comment about cornbread. In this state park is a village, and they have a mill. And now, for the last, about the same time that the renovations for the inn was going on, the hammer at the mill broke. And keeping true to the way that it was built, they had to cut down an oak tree, and they had to find the perfect oak tree. And they cut it down, and they had to let it cure or dry out for 18 months. And I got to see it. They're actually putting it all back together now. I went down there and took a hike. It was freezing cold, but they're repairing this mill back to its original glory. And they are also putting not new siding on it, but they're putting new stain on it, because it's time to put a little bit of stain on it, or the protective barrier, if you know what I mean. And let me just say, I am so excited, because you can purchase cornmeal that was ground inside this mill. You can buy a bag of it, and it makes the best cornbread. And I haven't had it in about 2 years. So I'm looking forward to the spring, going down there and getting a bag of cornmeal as soon as possible. I'm hoping they get their corn, like they've got their stock ready, or they know where they've already got it, set, because this girl wants a bag of cornmeal from this mill. I'm just saying, it's the only place I've ever bought it from that I love it. It's freshly ground, and then I just keep it in the freezer. But on the back side of the bag, it has a recipe on there. Aunt Lynn knows, because she's bought this before. It is the best cornmeal I've ever had. So yeah, but they didn't have any right now, but it was great to see that all under construction. And it is, the neat thing about the mill is that it is fed through the flume, that the water comes from a cave. Years ago, you could go hiking through there, but it was before I was even born. But a couple of people drowned there, so now nobody can go in. But the water that feeds the mill comes out of a cave, and it is so crystal clear and so beautiful, the water that comes out of there. When I was growing up, I used to go play in the water and stick my feet in because it was so refreshing in the summertime. But that was, down away from the mill. You can go get in the little stream and play. But yeah, it's just a neat and wonderful place to go. So I've shared this with some people. I am a full-time caregiver for a combat veteran, and I've had people who have told me that their veterans have trouble with fireworks. And my number one tip is during fireworks season, find a place that brings you joy and happiness, preferably in a state park or in a national park. Make reservations, whether it be camping or staying at a hotel. Just make reservations to go. Let me say that I have known other veterans to do it, and they can get through that fireworks time frame and enjoy themselves. And that is my number one tip now, is if you have, or somebody with sensory issues. I mean, you don't have to be a veteran to not like fireworks. Maybe somebody has sensory issues. Make reservations at a state or national park if you can, and just go enjoy yourself. I mean, seriously, there's so much to do. Or you can do nothing, like what we did. We just sat in rocking chairs and watched the fireplace. Let's see here. I missed a couple of things. Okay, back into the roosters. I don't like bantam roosters, only ones that have chased me. Yeah, that's the only one that I've ever been chased by is a bantam. Maybe that's the key right there. I don't know. Don't get bantam roosters if you don't want to be chased. I don't know. That's just my thought, because that's the only one I got. And there you are. The only one that chased you is a bantam. So that might be a tip right there. When I had a rooster, he would chase anything wearing sandals. Apparently, he thought toes were food. Now, in the summertime, when I wear flip-flops, my chickens will come up and peck my toes. They're not being mean. Keep in mind, their beaks are like fingers. So it's kind of, think of it like touching. I don't think that they're being mean. I don't know about a rooster. I know nothing. Maybe he was going after them, but I know my hens will do it. And I'm like, girls, those are my toes. I don't bite your toes. Don't bite mine. My daughter made the mistake of wearing sandals with red. Oh, yeah. Or, even like, okay, so I'll show the back of my phone. So even like the sparkle on the back of a phone, I have left my phone fall, whatever, and I'm in the middle of something, I'll leave it on the ground. And I notice my girls pecking at the back of my phone, and they're attracted to that kind of stuff, sparkly things. But you know what? My girls are my pets, and I don't know. It don't bother me. And another trick, hang on, back to this, is if you ever want to get footage of your chickens, here's like in a different angle, put treats, like turn your camera on, right? Get your camera up, hit the recording, and then put treats near the camera, and then just set your phone down and walk away from it, like completely get out of the scene. It is some of the funniest things, because you'll see them coming up and you'll see them from a different angle, and they're looking down like, can I eat this? And then they'll go 100 miles an hour, and it's a lot of fun to see. I've done that so many times. So if you want to see a different angle of your chickens, do that. It's funny. Let's see here. I'm literally reloading my wood stove. I love it. And the big glass door, but have to keep cleaning the ashes out and reload it every 4 hours. It's hard life for 8 months. Oh, I bet. But having that wood stove, I know, is a blessing. I was gifted cornmeal from a local mill near me. What? You mean you can make good cornbread now? I'm coming over to your house now, Aunt Lynn. I expect cornbread the next time I come over. That sounds good. I need to get me some. I am looking forward to my local favorite mill, which is not really local, but it's still a little bit of a drive. But that's okay. I don't mind driving to the place. I love it. I love the woods. I love hiking. I love going into caves. And I wish they'd bring back horseback riding. I remember once upon a time, this place had horseback riding. In fact, that's where Sir Grace went horseback riding for the very first time in his entire life. When we were dating, I took him to it and he loved it. He had a great time on there. Enjoyed it. He had a docile horse, which I was so grateful for. I told him, I said, just make sure that you're nice and calm before you get up on the horse, because they can feel everything and they will buck you off. And yes, this girl has been bucked off of a horse. So I told him, I said, make sure you're nice and calm before you go in and love on the horse. And so he did all that and he got up and we went riding and had a wonderful, wonderful time going through the woods. They had a trail you could go on and it was just really nice. So I wish they'd bring that back, but I guess it's a liability issue, I guess. But I love horseback riding and that was just good memories for me. So it was a Christmas present. How nice. That is super nice. I love good Christmas presents like that. It's just something so thoughtful and simple. And I think it's awesome. It's the gift that keeps on giving, right? Because then every time you make cornmeal, you'll always remember that person that gave it to you. I miss riding horses with my aunt and uncle. Girl, I hear that. There are times that I want to find a local farm. I don't know anybody, but I'd love to find a local farm and go horseback riding again. It's so peaceful. And yeah, I love it. I've been many times in my life. So yeah, I love horseback riding. Oh, and Mom's back. Got her belly full and a cup of decaf. That sounds good. That sounds good. I have water. So I talked about Waterford Crystal. This is my $3 glass from Goodwill, and I can't show you, but the watermark is, hang on, it's right here. There's the watermark. So cheers to you, Mom, in my $3 Waterford Crystal glass from the Goodwill. So speaking of shopping, I had mentioned during Scott's live, which I don't know where he's at. He must be lurking. That I went to this antique store, this barn. And when Sir Grace and I went away, we did go shopping. And there was a booth inside the barn that had everything 50% off, everything. And it wasn't just Christmas things. And I have to show you what I bought and what I did with it, because it's all together. So for $10, I got me a silver pitcher and I put a plant in it, and it sits now in my kitchen. And I love finding good deals, and I love being creative with houseplants and thinking outside of the box with it, with what I'm gonna put my plants in. And I love silver. I mean, it's just so pretty. I've never owned anything. I went on YouTube and I found a trick to get it cleaned up, to bring it back to its glory, being shiny, because it was all dingy and, I guess it's due to the air. So I'll have to do it again. But all I did was got me a bucket, and then I lined it with aluminum foil, and I took some water and I boiled it. And then I added some baking soda and some sea salt. And then I put that pitcher right down into that mixture. And instantly it started coming back to life. I let it sit for about 10 minutes on one side. And then I had to flip it because I didn't have enough water in there when I initially set it down in there. But yeah, all the tarnish is gone and it's come back to glory. And I know I'll have to keep up with it, but what a great way and a cheap way of getting that cleaned up. But yeah, and for $10, that's not bad, I don't think, for real silver. And I love unique pieces. So that's kind of like thing I bought when I went to this antique store. I didn't see anything else of interest. I mean, I got another dish, but it was like $3, but not as cool as that. But I like unique things that you don't just go to the store and buy. So, just like a regular big box store. Let's see here. I miss riding horses with my aunt and uncle. Oh, I saw that. And then back, and then, oh, my watermarks are on my coffee table. Okay, so I got to think about it. I know there's a tip to get your watermarks out, and it involves an iron. And I want to say you put, is it parchment paper down? I'm trying to remember. I have to go back, and I'll tell you a way to get your watermarks out of your table with an iron. There is a way to get them out. I used to ride horses at the Army stables, but I haven't ridden in a long time. That's the one thing I didn't realize until, I think I was married to Sir Grace maybe like 5 years. Even the Air Force had stables for horses. And I always thought that was really cool that the military bases had places to, if you had horses, they had stables on the base, but you have to pay for it. They're not for free, but yeah, they do if you have horses. Well, at least whenever Sir Grace was in the military. Me too, Jesse. Oh my goodness. I bet I'm not going to say it. Never mind. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, and thank you. Yeah, I love unique things. I've been looking for a picture. I follow Laura at Garden Answer, and I have since before she moved into her new property. If you know how long she's had a YouTube channel, she's massive channel. Anyhow, I love that she grows her own flowers, and she makes some really unique pieces during the summertime with her flower arrangements. And she has one. She has a silver, I don't know, it's like an urn. It's pretty big. And I love how she's taken like tomato plants and used that with her floral arrangements and just really odd things. And so she inspired me to kind of do something like this with my house plant. I may take the plant out in the summertime and make a floral arrangement in it just for fun. But yeah, I love unique things. So, thank you so much, Aunt Lynn. Let's see here. That's beautiful. I got a green picture that I'll be handing over to you to fill for me this summer. Ooh, okay. Speaking of flower arrangements. Okay. Sounds good. We can make you a really pretty one. I'm already starting to think about the different kind of flowers I want to plant. And some of them I need to start in March because I want to have more flowers. Last year I made a mistake in not starting some of my flowers early. It was the first time I had ever done that. And I really didn't have flowers to give anybody last year or this past growing season. So I'm already starting to think about what I want to plant, when I want to plant it. Some things I will have to get started, believe it or not, in about 3 or 4 weeks because they take 12 weeks to get up before they can go outside. So yeah, I've got to start thinking that through, what I want. And then of course, some of the things I'm going to try, the winter sow method, which is using a milk jug. And I've already got everything ready to go. I'm saving all of my milk jugs and, yeah, I'll be starting some things pretty soon. Actually, I start it within the next week or two. I mean, goodness, this polar vortex is happening. I may be in my garage starting my winter seed sowing, getting those ready and setting those pitchers outside. And I know my neighbors love my milk jugs. So there's that. But it's a really great way to get plants up and going and letting them just wake up when it's time to wake up. So yeah, lavender is one of them, and certain types of echinacea are another one flower-wise that I'll be starting pretty soon that I've thought about. I love thrifting. My favorite is free stuff at yard sales. Oh, heck yeah. I got some awesome stuff, and expensive things at the end of the yard sales. Yeah, my mom and I love going thrift store shopping and yard sale shopping, because man, that's the way to go, you know. In fact, I was talking to somebody yesterday and she made a comment about my outfit. And I'm like, the whole thing's from the thrift store. You know, that's where I shop at. I'm not that proud. In fact, I went to a gala in Washington, D.C., and my dress cost $1.74. I got it out of the Goodwill bins. There are some really good deals to be had. So yeah, for sure. Oh, I think she's talking about the watermarks on the furniture. I have to say, I love your lives. You can pull and talk to use like we're sitting with you. I'm so glad you enjoy it, girl. I want you to have a seat here and just be part of the conversation. I'm just so grateful that you're here too. And I still think about that day with that ink pen. I'm just saying, I will never forget that day that you won Sir Grace's pen. You have no idea how much you blessed me. I mean it. Whoops. Let's see here. Oh, I'm starting a bunch of plants indoors too. Girl, what are you starting? I'm curious. For our growing zone, my summer plants will start in March sometime. So like the tomatoes, the bell peppers, the zinnias, the sunflowers, that kind of thing. I don't want to start anything earlier than that, other than the winter seed sowing method, and then also some of the flowers that take up to 12 weeks to get them going. But yeah, it's a little too soon for me for a lot of things, but I know you're in a different grow zone. In my area, we are in a 7A grow zone, which I don't necessarily agree with that. I still grow like we're in a 6B. In my area, we like to put all of our tomatoes out and bell peppers. They're summer crops. I'm only going to speak on the summer, not the spring, but the summer stuff goes out the weekend of the Kentucky Derby, which is the first Saturday in May? I think it is. I always know Kentucky Derby weekend. I put my hat on and I, instead of going to the races, I go to the garden and get all of it going. If you plant any time sooner than that in my area, you take a risk with a random storm coming through, cold storm or windstorm, and it'll kill it all out. In fact, a few years ago, I had a former neighbor put all of his tomatoes out, and I did too. We both did it. We thought we were good to go, and we did. It was before the Kentucky Derby. We got all of our stuff out, and then we had this cold snap. And I mean, when I say freezing cold snap, it was a really freaky thing. And so I went out before the cold snap happened because I was paying attention to the radar, and I literally dug up every single tomato plant and every single bell pepper that I had put in that ground. And I put them in big buckets, and then I put them in my garage. Well, my neighbor made fun of me for that. And I'm like, dude, you have no idea. You really need to be thinking about this. He went to the Dollar Tree, and at that time, everything was $1 still, not $1.25. But he bought like 40 or 50 buckets, spent that much money on like buckets, and he put them on all his plants. And this windstorm came through, and I'm telling you, those buckets were all over our subdivision. I found them down the road from our subdivision. They were everywhere, and he lost every single plant that he put in the ground. Well, a couple days passed. We let the weather kind of warm up. And then Sir Grace and I were back out there putting them right back in the ground because I've checked that 10-day forecast. We were good to go. I didn't lose anything. So I say, who's laughing now? But anyhow, for us, it makes sense to wait till the Kentucky Derby in my area. But let's see here. Did you know it takes parsley 21 to 28 days to germinate? Yeah, I did. And it's frustrating because it's like, will it ever germinate? Hang on a sec. Let me grab a sip of water. I'm so sorry. My throat is so dry. I am attempting to grow coffee plants for the first time. I got some seeds from M.I. Gardner, and I was reading the back of the package, and it said 4 to 6 months to germinate. Let me say that again, 4 to 6 months to germinate. So I know this sounds funny, but I thought, well, I don't have time to keep an eye on it like in my office where I normally germinate all my plants. So I took a pot and hang on a minute. And I put soil in there, and then I put the coffee seeds in there, and then I put more dirt on. And so there's probably, let's see here. Well, I don't know how many comes in a package, but there's 2 packages of coffee beans or seeds in this container, one container. And I figure, okay, if it takes 4 to 6 months, I took a little plant marker and I wrote the day on it that I started it so I won't forget. And then wrote 4 to 6 months to germinate. So I don't toss it in the garbage. So I'm going to give it 6 months and we'll see if we get anything. They are now in my kitchen window. So that way I remember to water it, because if I have it up here, I'll forget about it because it's too soon to start things. So yeah, I get it. Let's see here. How about the bins? Okay. So she's talking about, in our area, we call it, or it's called the bins, but it's technically called the Goodwill Outlet. And that's where I got my dress for the gala. I'm just saying, there's some really good things. And I bought a brand new coat from there. It's a Marc Jacobs coat with the tag still on it. And I'm telling you, there's some good deals. And this woman right here, that's her home away from home. If you want to know where my mom's at, go to the bins. She's getting some good deals. I know, right? You just blessed me that day. I'm just saying, you absolutely blessed me. See here, I got a ton of free stuff at the end of a yard sale they were giving away. I got mugs and thought they were made by a kid. Saw the bottom and they had the logo Rae Dunn or something. And I looked them up online. Wow, $30 or $50. Yeah, Rae Dunn is a huge thing. I haven't been into Kirkland's in probably 4 to 6 months. Just dropping it, being honest. I used to go all the time, but I hadn't been there in forever. And I went today and I walked around and I noticed Rae Dunn is still a big thing. And let me tell you, that stuff's not cheap. So not cheap. Oh, he's been sitting in the shadows. All right, well, I hit the subjects I said I would hit on. So I'm so glad you're here. Let's see here. Glenda, they have now made Caldwell Boise area a zone A. I know. Isn't that weird? And it's Boise because I used to live in Mountain Home. So it's Boise. I remember it's a C in there. I got corrected when I lived there. Just like I correct people here. It's not Louisville. It's hard for me to say it. It's Louisville. It's a mouthful. Louisville. Yeah, but no, I saw that quite a few areas had changed, and honestly, I don't grow on a 7A zone mentally. I still think 6B. Again, I go by the Kentucky Derby out of Louisville. Let's see here. Oh, Rebecca said, Rebecca, you're still here. I was hoping you were. She said, hi, Scott. And then, oh my gosh. Yeah. To the germination time. Yeah. Some things just take a while, Mom. I mean, you got to have patience. You're planting for the future. So there's hope for the future. I blame my grandson. No, you don't get to blame your grandson for the Goodwill bins. Just saying, you are a woman and you are older, and I wasn't going to say anything more than that, but you're a grown woman. I'm going to blame you. And Sir Grace and I laugh about it because we need to find an AA version, instead of Alcoholics Anonymous, we need the Goodwill Bins Anonymous for Mom. No, just teasing. I'm just teasing. There really are some good deals. I like going every now and then. He told me about it, so we went together. Well, so I think that's I go a lot of places and I don't get addicted to a lot of places, but you're always going to the bins, and I'm looking for you at the gym, and No, I'm just teasing you. I love you, Mom. You know, you love somebody when you pick on them just a little bit, just a little bit. They were all crooked, so I didn't know anything. Someone would pay more than $1 or $2, just like it had a princess crown on it. Oh my goodness, that is funny. Yeah, they're expensive. I mean, it is what it is, right? Let's see here. Yes, you can tell a foreigner by how they pronounce Boise. Hopefully I'm still saying it right. You'll have to let me know, Karma. I'm telling you, we lived in Mountain Home, and we were at Mountain Home Air Force Base. There are no mountains in Mountain Home. And I asked the question, why are there no mountains in Mountain Home? And I had heard that the city kept moving because of the railroad system where it was at years ago. But it was a lovely place. But I hated the fact that when we lived on the Air Force Base, we had to go, it was like a J. So think like a J, right? So you had to go from Mountain Home Air Force Base into Mountain Home, and then you had to turn around and go this way back to get to Boise. I'm like, why would you, not put a bypass? And they're like, because the military folks will not come into town. And I'm going, oh, yeah, they would. There's Albertsons. Why wouldn't we go into town? And then they had Walmart, but I loved going into Boise. Of course, I know I have a friend that their son lives out there, and I heard that it's pretty packed now. Things have completely changed in the city, and home prices have gone up. I've heard that I talked to a lady at the gala who is, let me think, she is, if you're into DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution, I want to make sure I don't remember her title off the top of my head, but she is the lady that's in charge of all of the DARs in Idaho. So I'm sorry, I don't remember. I know the title, and it just left my brain. Anyhow, I told her I lived in Mountain Home, and I thought it was really cool. And she told me that that area has really grown up. She asked me when we lived there, and I told her, and she said, yeah, that place has really, really grown up. And she said, I wouldn't recognize it. And same with my friend's son. They say I wouldn't recognize it. So it is what it is. He's lurking. And let's see here. Yep, it's Boise, not Boise. Yep, that's right. That's right. I loved, we used to go up to the mountains and take our littles, the older two. We used to take them sledding in the mountains. There's like a really good area to take your kids, not off the side of a mountain. Mom, don't worry, I didn't just like push the kids down. But there was a really great place to go sledding. And that was something I really enjoyed about it. And then also fishing off the Snake River, we would get, is it kokanee salmon? Oh, I'm trying to remember. But anyhow, we got salmon out of the Snake River, and I loved it. And then what are those ancient fish that I would watch people? You had to catch and release, but they're really big fish, like 10 feet long. And yeah, some people would just sit out there, and it was just a sport. You couldn't keep them because they were protected. But yeah, we used to watch people fish on the Snake River. My brother-in-law is from Idaho. Oh, wow, Christy. What parts of it? Prices for housing is out of control. Yeah, that's what I have found. Even in our area, I think they have gone up. But yeah, I loved living there. There was a part of Mountain Home that I wanted to buy a house at once upon a time. And yeah, I liked it there. It was really nice. We're so happy you all are here tonight. Please be sure to give Glenda a thumbs up. Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Mom. Southern Idaho is desert, but the mountains are super close. Sturgeon. Thank you, sturgeon. Yes, that's the name of the fish, the sturgeon. They are protected. but they're ugly fish. I have to say, Google sturgeon if you want to know what that looks like. They're pretty ugly, but apparently it's a lot of fun to catch them. Of course, you have to release, but you'd see that people with their huge poles on the side of the Snake River. It was pretty cool. And no, we have gar in the Ohio River, and Sir Grace and I have actually been on the Ohio River. Same with Dave from Dave's Gaming Cave. I think he got one, but there's a thing called bow fishing, and you have to do it in the middle of the night. And that's actually what I was trying to shoot, because that's bow and arrow, not a pew pew, but it's called bow fishing. And yeah, I think Dave got a bowfish, or got a gar. Let's see here. When he married my sister, his parents lived in Twin Falls. I've been there. That's a nice place too. Not sure if the town he grew up, not sure if that's the town he grew up in. Okay. Yeah, I've been to Twin Falls. That's a neat place to visit. And then Sir Grace and I took his mother to Shoshone Falls, which is the Niagara of the West. And yeah, that's a really cool place to visit. We really enjoyed it. And then I took one of my sisters there too. But yeah, that's a really cool place to go visit. If I catch it and it's over 4 inches, I'll release it directly into my cooler. High five. High five. I'm with you on that one. Your uncle is from Brooklyn. We call it bozo. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. I remember rainbow trout up there. Yes. Yeah, they had rainbow trout too. Yep, that's true. I forgot about that. But I remember the salmon, probably the best. I don't remember. I think it's kokanee salmon, but I could be wrong. I just know it's salmon. And I hate fish other than tuna fish. I hate fish. And Sir Grace he had a grill, and he knew how to smoke that fish. And let me tell you, I absolutely loved it. And that was the only time I ever ate fish that we caught, was when we lived in Idaho. Still to this day, I just don't care for fish. True story. Let's see here. An old single wide mobile home in a park sells for no less than, oh my gosh, old 2-3 bedroom homes and no land sells no less than 250. That is crazy, Karma. That is crazy. I remember when homes were selling under 100,000 and they were brand new builds. That's crazy. Sorry, my son just signed up for his last semester of college, and they announced oh my gosh, strike on January 9th. It's going to delay his, oh man, I'm sorry. Well, I'm glad you're here. Hopefully you get to cheer up. You know, it is what it is. It's going to be okay. We're all going to get through this. Hey, Carlene. Hey, girl, are you ready for the polar vortex? Just being nosy because you're not that far from me. How are you? And see, she's got a picture of a fish. I think she likes fishing too. I enjoy it. I enjoy fishing. I just don't care for eating. So you're super high fines if you take a sturgeon. Oh, yeah, they're protected. Well, they're ancient fish, and they come in from the ocean. And so, yeah, they're protected, but a lot of people fish for them, and they do it's a lot of catch and release, which is cool to watch. I have to say, I enjoyed watching it, but I've never seen anybody take one. I can promise you that. But I watched them along the Snake River. Yeah, wow. And then, hi, Carlene. And then, so sorry, Scott. Yep, Scott, you got this. You got this. Oh, man, Scott, that's terrible. That's right. And I still have to get your Christmas present in the mail, Scott. I'm horrible. I meant to do that today. I love you too, big brother. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. That's for you, Scott. Okay, now we move on. Ready as we can be. Just hope our power stays on. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That's what I'm hoping on. The good thing is, so my mom lives in the same town, and Mama, you better be listening to this because I haven't even told you this. So If your electricity goes out, you come over to my house. If mine goes out, I'm coming over to yours. We're on 2 different power companies. So hopefully we get through this, right? Well, I can say that's bad, Scott, but maybe the Lord has his reasons. Ding, 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 ding. That's right. That's right. It takes years before sturgeon are able to produce offspring. Yep. Yeah. They're interesting fish, I have to say. Do you have them in your area? I'm not sure where you're from, Rebecca, but yeah, they're an interesting fish. I've caught a 4-foot sturgeon. It's legal here. Oh, really? It's not in Idaho. Again, they're coming in from the ocean, and Idaho is landlocked. So I know that when they come in through the area, they're protected there. I could see it maybe closer to you because you're closer to the ocean, like with your streams and stuff. But through Idaho, it's illegal to keep them. You can fish for them, but you can't keep them. See here, during the pandemic, certain states moved in paying cash for homes and lands, and land drove up with prices because people coming in there are willing to pay. Yeah, I believe that. And I think that's happened to a lot of areas. I know in our area, we have gotten more industry, more jobs are coming into this area. And I know that a lot of people are coming in, even over the river, coming into our area, and homes are selling really fast in our area, and the prices are absolutely ridiculous. So your sturgeon are super cool creatures. They are. Missouri. Oh, you have them in Missouri. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I've learned something new today. I had no idea. I guess it makes sense. And we don't have them in our area, but we also have paddlefish. I've never heard of that. We have freshwater. Yeah, that's what we have. We have freshwater too. Let's see here. We have carp that was brought in from the Big Sea country. And they're overtaking the Ohio River. So bow fishing is a big thing on the Ohio River, and they let you get all of them out of the area, or out of the, you can take all you want. They're not good eating. When Sir Grace and I have gone bow fishing, the fish that was caught we went with Wounded Warrior Project. So all of the fish that was caught was donated to a rehab facility that had eagles, especially the bald eagles. So they would have some fresh fish for them. So we would load up their freezers with what was caught. So I think that's really a cool thing. Northern Idaho has a direct path to the ocean, right? Yep, but they're landlocked. So the fact that they come in, that's, yeah. See, I don't like eating fish either, but Steve fried catfish a few nights ago, and I ate it for the first time in years. Oh, wow. That's cool. That's cool. Please don't drive through icy. Ding, ding. If you got a camping tent, pop it up in your living room, seal windows and doors with plastic, and the tent will keep warm microclimate inside. Absolutely. And stay safe in this area. Stay warm, because this polar vortex is coming through. Our house has jumped 500 to 600% since the sea. Yeah, ours too. Ours too. It's gone up. And a lot of people stayed home during the shutdown to do renovations. Although, I mean, we've been renovating our house, and we just did our big one. So we didn't keep up with the crowd. I love fish. Oh, cool. That's good. Yes, Asian carp. Yep, that's the one that's brought in that is invading the Ohio River. And I love going bow fishing with Wounded Warrior Project. I know Sir Grace has taken other family members with him, but it's neat that they donate all of that to the wildlife rescue for the eagles. So, yeah, that's what they do with it. So the park I live in sold almost 3 years ago. New owners more than doubled our rent. Oh, that's no good. I'm sorry to hear that. That's no good. I have a few sterile carp in my pond. Oh, okay, cool. My neighbor's from Missouri. Great lab. Oh, neat. Karma, that's happening all over. A lot of people can't afford to move their mobile homes, so they're walking away homeless. Yeah, I've heard that too. And that's just such a shame that people have done that. A buddy bought a 3-bedroom house, $142K, and sold it for $600K. It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, these housing prices are going way, way up. I know that there are people that are also looking to become first-time home buyers, and getting started into that is really difficult, and it's hurting families. So hopefully things will change soon. We'll see. But yeah, it's pretty expensive. Hey, Xander, you slid right on in. So I'm waiting for the hi. So I'm going to do this to you, Xander. Hi. That's what I always think in my head that you're doing. Every time you come in and you say hi, I want to go hi, high five back at you. That's what I think. Let's high five each other. Oh, and hi. I'm high fiving you. Yeah. Let's see here. The sturgeon fish Missouri have are, okay, is it pallid or is it pallid? Lake sturgeon and shovel nose sturgeon. So you have 3 different varieties. That's interesting. That's so interesting. Right? Hi. That's what I'm going to do for Xander. I'm telling you, if I ever get to meet Xander in person, I'm going to high five you. You better be ready. Better have your hands up, because I'm going to go hi. I am just so glad and so honored that you're here. I know, right? Where have you been? Let me just grab a drink. We have missed you on YouTube. That's what Jennifer meant, was on YouTube. Yeah, I know. I've missed you, Xander. I haven't seen you in a while. So I'm so glad you're here. I hope all is well with you. I hope you're doing good. I believe the sturgeon in Idaho are the white sturgeon. That sounds right to me. That sounds, I mean, I could be wrong too, but that sounds right to me. It's the white sturgeon. Yes, thank you so much. But I'll tell you, the sturgeon are really interesting to see in person. Probably some of the ugliest fish I'll ever see, but pretty cool, you know. And then I was telling you about the fishing trip, the bow fishing trip. So I wanted to share my little fishing story with you guys. So Sir Grace and I went out the last time I got to go bow fishing with Sir Grace. Like I said, every year he takes somebody different. So the last year I got to go, which has been some time. Sir Grace, I want to go bow fishing. It's been a while. Anyhow, so we're out on the river, and it's probably about 11 midnight, something like that. You do this in the middle of the night. And we get into this patch, and we see a lot of gar out there. And so they shut the lights off on the boat, and we just all got quiet and we waited. And then they threw the floodlights on real big, and you could see all the fish just sitting right there. So we knew we were in the right area. And so they shut the lights all off again, and they said, "You ready, Glenda?" And I said, "I'm ready." So I draw my bow back, and then they said, "Okay, 3, 2, 1." And they threw the lights back on, and I saw the gar, and I released, right? Well, I missed. And I'm like, you're supposed to go low, you know, like, in your direction. You don't want to shoot directly at them. You want to kind of go low and away. So the guy goes, "You actually did it right. So we're going to do it again." So he said, "You ready?" And I did it again. I drew back, and he turned the lights on, and I released, and I got something. And I was like, whoa, I got something, you know. So I'm reeling as fast as I can. And let me tell you, I got the biggest fish I have ever got. It was this big. And let me tell you what I got. I got the milk jug fish. I'm just saying, the struggle was real, reeling that thing in. It was heavy, and it was wobbling like this. And when I picked it up, it was full of sand. Ta-da! That is my bow fishing story on my milk jug fish. Just saying. No, I need to go back and redeem myself. That was just, no. I can't believe I totally totally got the milk jug fish. And I mean, the milk jug was this big. I mean, every fish is bigger than what they say. So why not? I'm going to go with it. My milk jug fish was this big. No. Okay. This big? No. Okay. Maybe this big. My milk jug was this. No. It was this big. I'm just saying, you got to have some laugh, right? Let's see here. Oh, Tracy's here. Right? Did I miss Tracy? Oh, she is here. Hey, Tracy. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming in. Let's see here. He's probably pressure canning everything in sight. Hey, that's a good thing to be doing. Oh, in Virginia. Oh, girl. I got your email. That was a beautiful, beautiful tree topper. If you want to share what that was, you're welcome to. But I loved it. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I did respond back. That was gorgeous. The pelage sturgeon is endangered and lake sturgeon is also endangered. Oh, wow. Let's see here. That sounds so cool, right? My fish story. Isn't that the fish they block off California waterways for? The milk jug fish or the sturgeon? I got confused. Sorry. Let's see here. I've snorkeled with an alligator gar. Hang on a second. I'm so sorry. I've snorkeled with an alligator gar in Florida. Freaky looking. Yeah, I think that would be, excuse me, that would be very freaky. Yeah, ta-da! See, I mean, I am a good fisherwoman. I'm just saying, if you all want to get the milk jug fish, take me out bow fishing. Just, that's how I roll. Or maybe I'm just like cleaning up the environment. I don't know. One of the two. See here, I'm jumping in and doing a live tomorrow. Oh, awesome. What time? Do I have any moderators in hang on. I apologize. I've got this spot in my throat and it's dry. If somebody could drop her channel and if you could share what time, I'd appreciate it. Because I do believe in helping one another so we can all go over and hang out with you, Tracy. Yikes, LOL. Yeah, right? Let's see here. It's your fish story and you're sticking to it. That's right. My milk jug fish, I mean, I'm going to say it this big, right? Can I just stick with that? My milk jug fish was this big. I canned 4 quarts and 5 pints of chicken broth today. I am sorry. Let me get... I am so sorry. This spot in the back of my throat is driving me crazy. I can't wait to get back into canning. Hot lemon water. Yes, please, because it's dry spot. All right. I'm so sorry. Let's see here. Are you available to help mod for my live? Monday. I think it's going to be a pretty big one. Okay, cool. All right, you guys. I'm going to have to sign off now because this is driving me crazy, this dry spot. And I've gone over my time too. So tonight is chilling with the Gillums. So I want to get off here. You guys can go get you something to eat. I don't know what time they're going live, but be sure to go check them out. Thank you, moderators, for dropping the links. I appreciate you. And thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every single one of you. For those in the path of the storm, stay safe. Make sure you're staying warm. Hopefully you're prepared. Keep it. And if you're not, all the prayers for everybody, because this is going to be a very bad storm. I know that my mom, my aunt, and I were all in the heart of the worst of it. That's going to be hitting us starting tomorrow morning is when it's supposed to start hitting us. So I know we're ready to go, but please keep everybody in prayers as we go into this. So anyhow, you guys, we'll see you guys next week at 4:45, and then following up will be Lazy Days Ahead with Jesse and Lisa. And also go check out each of the channels. And tomorrow night, I want you to go check out, make sure I'm getting the right time for In the Garden In the Kitchen and Garden with Tracy at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Her link has been dropped. So you guys stay safe, stay warm. We'll see y'all next week. Bye.